This is an example of creating a Gantt chart, a project Gantt chart out of your worksheet. And I'm going to show you what we're going to end up with just so you can see this. Over here, let me just zoom out just a little bit here. As you can see here, I've got a number of different projects that have different start and finish dates. And we look at those two dates. It shows us, how long that's going to be. It shows the completion, how far we've gotten, how many days have we gotten through with it, and how much is left. And we're going to have a Gantt. Let me just double click that too. And we're going to have what we call a Gantt bar over here showing us the total duration. Now, what's kind of interesting, let me just make this a bit bigger too. What it's showing here is that the project, or this particular project, is going to be 6 days. It shows 2 days here, or actually about 3 days here, a weekend with 2 days, and then the remaining 3 days. So we don't work on weekends. All right, so it's going to be able to figure that out. So the 2 days of completion are what you see in the darker red, and the remaining days are what you see in the lighter red as far as the bar. So there's about 4 different function formulas that are going to be used to make this all happen. Let me just show you as well. Actually, we'll do it this way. So that's what we're end up getting. So we'll be able to type in the start date, the end dates, and so forth. It'll automatically, then we can plug in how many days that is. So the way it works is that you put in the start date, and then you plug in the estimated amount of days it's going to be from that point. And then we have a formula in here that just calculates what the end date would be, excluding the weekends. All right, so that range is about is more than 6 days, but because there's a holiday, or there's the weekend in there, it extends it out a little bit. So you get that number, and then we later on, as we're tracking the project, we can put in how many days have been completed in each of these different projects, and then we've got a calculation that figures out the remaining days. That's pretty much it. Now, let's go back to here, where we're actually going to be doing this at. And the other thing that you have to kind of put in here would be then the dates. So we start with the first of the month, and we go to the end of the month. And what we do here is we just kind of plug in the actual date, like 1/1/2025, and then we would copy that all the way across. All right. Now, normally it would give us pretty much that as the date in the cell, but what we would do in this case is format this whole range. And the way we would format it, just so you know, it would just be using the custom number format, and would just be DD, and that just gives you the 2-digit day, and that's what we see here. And we can just put the label up here as to what month it is. The way I got that to go in was that I put a formula in there. I said equal J2, which is the first one here, and that's actually giving me January 1st, 2025. So that's what it would give me here. But then what I did is I went in there and formatted that to give me the 4-digit month, and then or the full month spelling, I should say, and then the 4-digit year, and that's what you see there. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that's what we have there. So that's the first thing you want to do, is that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with the conditional format formula in this area here that will show where the weekends are. All right. And we're going to assume that we're not going to be working weekends when we're doing these different projects. So we want to kind of mark that to kind of show where the weekends are with these dates here. So what we do is we go ahead and just kind of select that whole area like this. All right. And then once we've done that, we go back to conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula. And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to type in equal, and we're going to type in weekday. Remember that formula from before. And then left parenthesis, and we're going to put in there J $2, comma 2, close it, and then greater than the number 5, meaning show us Saturday and Sunday, right? So we do that, and then we can go ahead and pick a format here. We'll go with the fill, and we'll go with maybe the very light green. All right, and then we'll hit OK, and then OK, and there we go. All right, now the next formula we're going to do is going to give us the total duration, in other words, between the two dates here, okay? So what we'll do is we've already got the area selected, so we'll go to conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula, and then we'll go ahead and start putting in the formula. So we're going to start out with equal. We're going to type in A and D, left parenthesis. We're going to go with A3, F4, F4 to get it on the absolute on the column A, but not the row coordinate there. And then we'll put in there less than or equal to, and then we'll click on to J2. And on J2, we'll hit the F4 key one time, just once, to get the dollar or the absolute on the row, but not the column, see? Do a comma, and then we're going to type in workday, and this is what's going to give us the expanse of the bar. So workday, left parenthesis, and now we're going to click on to A3, again, this one right here, F4, F4, all right? And then we're going to say -1, comma, and then we're going to click on to C3, which is the estimated amount of time we're thinking that the project is going to take. So we click onto that, and just make sure we've got the absolute on the column but not the row. We'll close the parenthesis. We'll put greater than in there and equal to. And then we're going to click on to J2. That's going to be this guy here. Hit the F4 key one time, and that will just put the absolute on the row, number 2 there, and then a comma. Then we're going to click on to C3. That's going to be the estimated time here again, so C3. And we're going to make that F4, F4, so the absolute's on the column once again. And then we're going to say equal. And now we're going to click on to E3, and that's going to be, let me move that over a little bit, on E3, which is going to be the remaining here. So we'll click onto that, and we need to make it where the column is absolute. So we'll hit the F4 key, F4, and now that's absolute. We'll close it off, and that's it. Now for the formatting, we're going to make this one like a gradient, where it goes from one color to the other. So we'll go to the format. We'll go to the fill effects. We'll change this to red. And we're going to go with this one right here. We'll choose that. Hit OK. Hit OK. And then hit OK. I think I know what I did. I think when I was typing in workday, I typed in word day. For some reason, I remember that. So let me just go back in here and double click that one. And there it is, word day. That's great. So you guys were supposed to figure that out. You're supposed to say, hey, Chip, you screwed up there. Anyway, K, work day, all right? Hit OK. Hit OK. And there we go. All right, so now we're going to put in the next formula. So we'll go back into conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula, and I click down there. Now this is also going to have and in it, so we're going to do equal, A and D, left parenthesis. Now we're going to click on to, let me move this down a little bit. We'll click on to A3, and then we'll do F4, F4, right? And then we'll do less than or equal to J2, which would be our first date, and we have to do the F4 one time on that to get the dollar symbol on the row, which is the 2 there. Then we'll do a comma, and now we're going to type in workday, not word day. There's workday. Left parenthesis, we're going to click on to A3 again, and then F4, F4. All right, then we'll do -1, comma, and then we're going to click on to D3, all right, and we'll hit the F4, F4 on that one, put the dollar symbol on the column as well. We'll close it off. We'll do greater than and equal to, and then again J2 with an F4 just one time. There we go. Close that off. And then the format, we're going to use the same format, as you'll see, because it'll extend some of these bars. So we'll go back to fill and hit our fill effects. We'll change this one back to red like we had and go with that third one again. And then we'll hit OK, and then OK, and there we go. So it gets that part. All right, we're almost there. All right, so this last formula is going to kind of give us the remaining part of the bar here. If you take a look at this one here, this part here, the remaining, what's left, okay, that's going to be added in there using this next formula. All right, so again, we'll go back into, we've already got the area selected. So conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula. And now the formula here is going to be again equal AND, left parenthesis. Now we'll click on to A3, F4, F4, less than or equal to J2. Click on a J2 there, and that'll just be one F4 because we want the dollar symbol on the 2, and then a comma, and then workday, left parenthesis. Again, we'll click on to A3, F4, F4, -1, comma, and then C3. So click onto that. And that's going to be an F4, F4 again. Close the parenthesis, and then we're going to have the greater than or equal to, and then J2, or our beginning date, once again. And of course, we'll make that F4 to make it just on the row. We'll close off the parenthesis. Now in this one, we're going to make it kind of a lighter shade there. So we'll click on to format, go to our fill effect, and we'll go with the red here, but actually we want a lighter red, so we'll click here again. We'll go to the more colors here, see, and we can find a lighter red. Now we can go to the custom and just kind of bring this up, and that'll kind of lighten it up a little bit, see, like that. That looks good. And then we'll hit OK, and it'll be a little lighter there, see? That might be too light, but it'll be okay. All right, then we'll go ahead and hit OK. And I think that's what we want. Let me just make sure here. Oh, and I got to make sure I picked the right one here. It was defaulting that one. So there it is, that one there. All right, that looks good. All right, then we'll hit OK, and then OK, and there we go. Now you'll notice that last format that we just did, that last formula, it kind of covered over the entire bar here. So what we have to do is we have to rearrange our rules so that they're in the right order, so that we're not getting the one that takes up the most width, covering everything else up here. So what we'll do is we'll go back into conditional formatting. We'll go to the manage rules, all right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take this lighter one. So if you look at what we have here, it's that light one that's overriding everything because it's doing that one first. So what we're going to do is we're going to click onto here, bring that down to the third level. So we have the two darker ones at the top, and then we have the lighter one, the green one here, right? We'll go ahead and hit apply just to see what it look here. Move it over a little bit. Hit apply, and there we go. Looks good. And then we'll just hit OK. There we go. So there is our Gantt chart. It looks great. So what you're looking at here with the first one is that there's a 6-day duration. Well, here we have like maybe a Friday or a Thursday and a Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So then it gives 4 more days after that because we don't count the weekend. See? Oh, actually, we got 3 days. Sorry. So we got probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we've got that. But my point is that the weekend here is adding 2 days to the Gantt width. That's all. Now, if we went in there and said that we have, let's say we're tracking the projects here, and we find out that we've got 3 days complete for the project, for that first project. So I'll type in 3 here. Now watch what happens. This will extend out. So there's the 3, right? If I decide that that was really going to be only 5 days, I can type in 5, and you'll see that bar shorten up by 1 day. All right. Down here, which we might not have done everything down here yet, but let's just say that on the first one, we're 2 days into the project. Enter that in, and you'll see then the 2 days in there. So you're going like that. So now it shows that we've got 2 days complete, and we've got the rest of this to go. So pretty slick little thing here. It's a little bit of work to putting it together, but it would be I think it would be a great alternative to you just sitting there and filling in the cells with colors and having to contend with everything that goes on with weekends and things like that. And what we have here is just 1 month. I mean, you could make this thing go out, to February, to March, to April, May, just keep it going and have just gargantuan, project here. But again, I think this is a lot better in functionality than just filling in cells with colors and stuff like that. So pretty cool thing. So hopefully maybe some of you might use something like this. It's a cool little thing. I mean, you don't have to go out and buy Microsoft Project for $1,000 or whatever it is. So in this case, we've got we're just using Excel, and we're getting kind of like a project-like look screen here. So take care. Appreciate you watching the video.